gas station parking lot. Thanks for being here. We have a special guest tonight, Miss Peggy Jeppesen. Peggy, how's your day been?
It's been good. It's been tiring. I went into the garden and got a little sun.
Yeah, you did, but your lighting looks good and your shot looks good.
Good.
And we can hear you okay. We'll wait for
Good.
people to join. Right now, we only have one person. So, the one person watching right now, we love you.
We do. Thank you for
Is,
coming,
is,
Casey.
is it Glenn, your husband? Okay, now we have
No.
35. So here's what we're doing, everybody. I'm on my way to Phoenix right now, and I'm about, man, at least an hour behind probably because there was a horrible crash, and I am not going to look at the phone. So Peggy, you tell me if the shot gets lost or whatever.
Okay.
But Peggy's going to ask me questions that you all have, and you've been sending them to me the past few days.
Yeah.
So this is just going to be very informal.
Right.
And you can ask about anything. You can ask about the case. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to ask about anything else, but there's the rules, I guess. So let us know where you're watching from, and Peggy will just fire away. Peggy, you want them to do anything when they have a question, like write anything, or are you good?
If they want to put a question mark, and make them short questions if possible. Because
Okay.
I'm not Nate. I'm not good like he is.
Well,
at this.
You're good. Peggy, we're all special in our own ways.
I'm extra special.
You guys, yeah, here's the funny thing, Peggy. Let's talk about what happened today at lunch. So I went to lunch with my wife before I had to leave to drive. I left late. So Erica and I go to lunch, and we look over, and who do we see? Peggy. She followed us there.
There I was. Yeah.
There she was. We went to Longhorn. Peggy was with a friend. I was with my best friend. All right,
Yes.
Peggy, fire away. Question number 1.
All right. There was one just now in here, and it looked good. It said, who was driving the car when Brandon was shot at?
Police believe it was Alex Cox. That Alex Cox was driving, that he drove from Rexburg to Phoenix quickly, the same route I'm on, actually. And he quickly, he parked, and he was able to get that window down and shoot out because they had removed the tire in the seat. In fact, one of the witnesses said that the driver's seat was so far up to the steering wheel that he was likely laying in the back. So he likely fired the shot and then drove away. Now, we haven't heard any thoughts on if there was an actual driver, a second person with him. Maybe that'll come out of trial. I have not heard any discussions about that, though. Everything that I have heard and been told is that it was Alex acting alone, at least doing the actual shooting. Lori, we know, was in Idaho. Chad was in Idaho. So, yeah.
This question is from Melanie. She says, do you expect to hear Lori Dogma in this trial? And I don't know what that means. Do you know what Lori Dogma means?
Dogma?
Yeah. Sorry.
Do I expect to hear Lori Dogma in this trial?
Yeah. I don't know what that means. Okay, we'll skip that.
I'm one of two thoughts about Lori in this trial. One is, because it is her last trial, will she go all out and just say it all? Go all out on every witness, and maybe she will take the stand. I personally don't think she will, but I could be wrong. Or will she be the same Lori we saw in the last trial, where she kind of asks certain witnesses questions, doesn't ask the other witnesses, and doesn't present a defense? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how she acts and what she does. But, for those of you that aren't familiar, jury selection begins Thursday afternoon, and then Friday is jury selection. The judge plans to have a jury seated by Friday afternoon, and then Monday is opening statements, and court will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Will be off on Friday, and then the following Monday, the prosecutor plans to rest, either that Monday or Tuesday. If Lori presents a defense, it'll go the next few days, but right now she doesn't have any witnesses. She could rest, and we could have a verdict by the following Tuesday or Wednesday, so we'll see.
Okay. Here's another good one. It says, from Dana, Do you think more people would have died in the Daybell cases had they have not been caught? I will finish the sentence.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. I'd be interested to hear our viewers' thought on that. I think that, and I've talked to police, I've talked to the people that have investigated. They think there very well could have been more deaths, especially when Chad and Lori ran out of money. Because what are you
Yeah.
going to do when you run out of money? Were Melanie Pulowski's kids next? There was talk that they were dark. I don't know if they had life insurance policies, and I don't know if they could have been next or who would have been next. But it's very well possible. I've thought a lot about what happened if Chad and Lori did stay in Hawaii for 6 more months. They were going through that money really fast where they were staying, and I think it would have all come down to dollars and cents. And once that money's gone, who knows who could have been next? But there would have had to be a financial gain. Every single one of these deaths was for a financial gain. Charles she thought she was getting $1 million. JJ and Tylee, she was able to get the money from their Social Security benefits, and Tammy, they were able to get her life insurance money, and quickly. So that's kind of the whole essence of it all. I don't know if they would go and kill someone if there wasn't money there.
Yeah, that's a good one. Kenny the Dragon.
I want to ask a question, Peggy. Okay, let me answer Kenny the Dragon. Well, this is completely sidetracked. Have you been following the Diddy trial, Peggy?
A little bit.
I'm interested if you guys watching have, because I'm not really following it at all, but I've been just listening to a podcast driving, and it sounds like some crazy stuff is coming out. And all of my friends that cover crime in the media have been telling me that it's just been crazy, that there's all this attention on it. There's not cameras in the courtroom, but
right.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's just wild. So anyway, I'm interested to hear our viewers' thought if they're following the Diddy stuff. And for those of you just tuning in, I see that more and more people are watching. And Peggy, did we get a donation? Thank you.
Yes, we did from Kenny the Dragon, $10.
Oh,
and it came with a question or a comment. Hey, Nate and crew, love the Secret Santa. Hope to see it again. My question is, do you guys at the news station happen to have particular events that you enjoy doing?
Oh, that's a good question. What about
you, Peggy? Great question. You can answer that. Well, I love the Secret Santa. That's fun to go on. We do a pie contest toward the end of fall. That's kind of fun, or around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Nate?
I would agree. For those who don't know what Secret Santa is, there's an anonymous person in our community who every holiday season gives $1 million for the East Idaho News team to help find people in need in our community, and we go and surprise them with like a vehicle or a check or furniture or a washing machine. And it is the best time of year. It's a crazy time of year. It takes a lot of time to do all those. Yeah. But I love that. I also love on the 4th of July, we do helicopter rides on our East Idaho News chopper as part of Riverfest. So if you've ever wondered if you should come to Idaho Falls, the 4th of July would be a great time. There's a 31-minute fireworks show, the Melaleuca Freedom Celebration. They call it the biggest show west of the Mississippi. It is unbelievable, and as part of those festivities, we do helicopter rides, and those will be going on sale here in a few weeks. So those are my favorite times. We do a fall family party where all of our employees come with their families, and we do prizes and bingo or games. So those are some of the fun things that we like to do. That's a great question, though. So thank you for asking that.
It is. They ask you what car you're driving this time, and have you named it?
Oh, I want your help naming it. I'm driving a Toyota Camry. Big shout out to Teton Toyota.
Yeah.
And I know several of you have emailed me like, why don't I fly? I could fly, but I'm transporting a lot of gear, like camera gear and stuff like that. And also I need a car when I'm there, and it is more cost effective to drive. It does take a little bit more time, but Teton Toyota is so nice. They've loaned me one of their rental cars. It's a Toyota Camry, a 2025, Peggy. It's nice.
That's amazing.
It's leather seats and GPS. So I haven't named it yet. Somebody said call it the Camry. That's what we do at our house. We call our cars like the Rogue or the van? What do you have a name for your car, Peggy?
No, I have not named my car. Now I'm going to have to.
Does Glenn name his car?
No. Well, let's see, White Dragon maybe for the steam. He's in steam boiler work. Something like that. I don't know. I'm probably answering totally moronic. I don't know what he's named.
I am not naming this car. Some of you have suggested it. It's not happening. Okay, well, we can call it sunny. We can call it thunder. We can call it lightning. Not the storm.
Not the storm.
Yeah.
Okay, I had a question come in from one of my dearest friends up in Alaska. We went to school together here in the Rexburg area. And her question was, is it possible for you to interview Chad on death row? He hasn't said anything to anyone, it seems. Now he's on death row. He has nothing to lose or gain, right? So maybe you and Keith Morrison can tag team him.
I would do any interview with Keith Morrison.
Right.
So I could. Idaho does not allow cameras in the prisons unless it's an extreme circumstance, and you'd have to make a really big case to do it. And a lot of times the victims would have to be okay with it, or they would at least consult the victims. I don't know of a death row inmate in Idaho in decades that has done an on-camera interview. That being said, if Chad was open to taking my calls, I could chat with him on the phone. I could video chat with him. There's a video tablet that you can video chat. It does cut off after a certain amount of minutes, and you do have to pay, which I would pay. So yes, I could interview Chad if he would be open to doing an interview. I have put in requests, and they have gone nowhere. So yeah, I could. Same with Lori. When she comes back here, I have requested interviews with Lori in Arizona, and so far she has said no. So, and many of you have said, why even give them the time of day? Why even interview them? You shouldn't give them the time of day. And I understand what you're saying, that giving them the publicity. But as a journalist, I'm curious, and I'd love to I just be curious about what they have to say, and it would be a fascinating interview. So hopefully one day, but we'll see. And I also understand if you're like, why would you do that? And if you wouldn't watch, I respect that.
Okay. Rachel says, hi, Nate from New Jersey.
Hi, Rachel from New Jersey.
To the lady officer, I'm sorry, I'm getting old. I can't see my screen. That's the lady officer who was speaking to Brandon the same officer who was speaking to Charles in front of the house or the hotel?
That's a great question. You said Rachel from New Jersey. Is that who that was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good question, Rachel. I thought the same thing, because when I watched the video, she sounds very similar. But I can't give you a 100% answer on that. What I do know is I imagine that officer could be called as a witness, because she dealt with Brandon that day. I would be shocked if she wasn't called as a witness. So we'll see. The video I've seen, she's been blurred, but once obviously we see her on the witness stand, we'll be able to know if that was the same one. But she did sound similar, so you picked up on that as well.
I thought she did too. So, okay, good questions. Yeah. Will you ever interview Melanie Gibb again?
I would love to go on the record with Melanie. I have spoken with Melanie Gibb off the record, and I would love to. And same with Melanie Pulowski. And I know, Peggy, it's probably on the list. Why isn't she being charged?
Yeah.
I just stopped for dinner 2 hours ago. And by the way, I should give a caveat. I'm driving through Nephi, Utah, which I didn't even think about the Lori connection until just now. What I meant to say is that if my signal drops, Peggy, you gotta keep the people informed. But yes, Nephi, not only is he someone in the Book of Mormon, it's a city in Utah. So I forgot where I was going with that. Oh yeah, I stopped for dinner a few hours ago quickly, and I got a text from somebody who said, why isn't Melanie Pulowski being charged? That will be one of the questions I ask the prosecutor, hopefully in an interview I do after the trial. But you have to think that maybe they don't have enough. They must not have enough evidence. The evidence wasn't strong enough if there's anything there. They're not charging Chad. And with Chad, they said the evidence wasn't strong enough to get a conviction, in their opinion. You'd think it might be. I don't know. I know many cops I've spoken with wish she would have been charged.
Yes.
And other people I've spoken with say they just didn't have enough to charge her. So yeah, that's all I can say there. But yeah, I'd love to talk to her again and her husband and Melanie Gibb too.
So on the heels of that, do you think they both have immunity for any reason?
You know, they might, but I don't know if they do, because
Okay.
in Idaho, when Zulema testified, it was mentioned that she had an immunity agreement, and her attorney showed up with her when she testified in court.
Okay.
So I don't know how it's worked here in Arizona, and I don't know what type of information Melanie was able to give to them or not give to them. We know that Ian recorded the calls in relation to, you know, right after he got married with that wiretap. But yeah, I don't know the inner workings of all that, but one day I hope to find out.
Okay. David George has asked this. Do you think Chad and Lori came up with their own doctrine, or were they taught by other people?
I think Chad and Lori got a ton of their beliefs from there's a book called Visions of Glory, which, if you read that, it's by a man who's told, the person that compiled it apparently was given information from someone who saw visions about the last days, and it's very, very similar to what Chad. And Lori, but mainly Chad, probably took those beliefs, twisted them a bit, added some of their own, mixed in some of the LDS theology, and then other stuff that they just made up. I think it's a combination of all of it, but that's a good question. And they seem to, in a way, I don't want to, making it up as they go, because you can see in some of the text that Lori would send Chad, like, what's taking so long? Let's get.
Yep. I agree.
It was kind of a mix of all of that.
I completely agree with you. How many times can Lori keep filing these motions? Is there a limit? Asks Ellie.
No, she can file as many motions as she wants.
Okay.
And she can file motions after the verdict, which she did in Charles's case. Now, in civil wars, we had a guy sue. I won't get too deep. Sue East Idaho News a couple of years ago, and we had done a story on him, but he clearly was not all there, and he kept filing these things, and the judge said there's no base here, and would throw it out. And our attorney asked for something to be placed on him called a vexus litigant, I think is what it's called, meaning someone who repeatedly files stuff. They become an annoyance to the court, or it becomes unreasonable that they say you can't file stuff anymore in regards to this case. I've never heard of that in criminal law, but yeah, Lori can keep filing them, and maybe we'll keep seeing them for a long time, or maybe after it's done here, she'll go back to Idaho and be done. We'll see.
And be done.
And yes, that is a question. Someone sent me, Peggy, maybe it came in your line too, is that what happens after this case? If she's found guilty, then within 30 or 60 days, there'll be a sentencing hearing in Arizona. So they'll probably keep her in Arizona for another month or two. She'll be sentenced, and then they'll move her to Idaho, where she will serve her 3 life sentences.
Okay. A lot of people are asking if you will interview Brandon Boudreaux.
Yes, I think that'll happen. Brandon and I have spoken off the records a lot over the years. He has really tried to be out of the spotlight. He's gone through child custody court and whatnot. In the beginning, he was in the news a lot more, and I think he's just trying to lay low for now. But I think when the time's right, I think he'll. I hope he'll talk to me. And I know that I met his wife, his new wife. She's great, and they're just trying to live their life. And he'll be a witness. You know, he'll testify in this. He's going to be the star witness. Somebody tried to kill him. He's going to go through the events of that day. They'll probably play that body camera footage again that we went through the other day. If you missed that, go watch it on our YouTube. So yeah, someone I know, Peggy, asked what I had for dinner, just to kind of change the topic a bit.
That's fine. Let's change it.
I asked on Facebook where was the best place for dinner in Utah. I think there's like 800 comments. I ended up stopping at Crown Burger. Have you been to Crown Burger, Peggy?
Yes, I have been to Crown Burger one time, I think.
Yeah.
And my husband might be listening and totally disagree. I always ask, was I there? Did I have a nice time?
It was good. I'm pretty
and
basic.
Was it good?
I don't go. It was great. I've had it before. I don't go for pastrami on my burger. I'm very basic. Hamburger, no cheese, lettuce, pickle, tomato, and a French fry, and a soft drink, a Coke. So I had that several hours ago. I stopped in Sandy. And then I just stopped in Payson, and a kind woman, Karen, I got to give Karen a shout out. She came and knocked on my window and said, "Hey, I knew you were coming down here, but I didn't think you'd stop in Payson." I did stop in Payson. There was a horrible, horrible crash, a fatality. And so I was stuck in traffic for about an hour. But anyway, thinking of them tonight, whoever that was. I wish I could show you all the sunset. I can't. I'm not going to move my phone because I'm driving, but there's a beautiful sunset out the window.
I bet it is. We'll take your word for it. Do you think, asks Daisy, do you think that the storage videos will be in evidence in this trial?
I wonder. However, the owner of the storage unit is not on the witness list. And I would think if they were going to admit the video, he would at least be called to say, yes, this is video from my unit. Yes, it was valid. Now, the other thought is maybe the police could verify it and say we did take this video as evidence. And but on the other hand, they might not use it. They didn't use it in Idaho because there could be a question of, can you 100% say that is Lori? That in this case, it doesn't really matter if it's Chad. He's not being charged. Can you 100% say that's Lori? Well, she did sign the contract to the unit. She did visit that unit. The guy who owns the storage facility could testify to that. But again, he's not on the list. So I don't think it's going to be on there, Peggy. Maybe it will. I mean, it'd be interesting, but I don't think it will be.
Nate, this person is named Mike from Alaska, and he says, with all the cases, you know what? You just answered that because you kind of brought it in with the other thing about Melanie, that she's not even charged as a co-conspirator. And he just had asked that.
Someone's asking what my road trip snacks are. Notice how I always want to talk about food, Peggy. I go straight to the food.
You talk about the food.
So I haven't had donuts. I know many of you are asking. I'm going to wait for the donuts. And I have at Sam's Club, there's these really good orange cranberry cookie thins. Have you tried them, Peggy? Oh my gosh.
No, but I need to.
They're thin cookies, and they are orange cranberry, and they're good. And I had a couple of those. I have some pretzels. Oh, and shout out to Tony, my good buddy. He brought me a bag of goodies. He's an auditor for a convenience store group, and he brought me a bag of goodies. So I have those next to me.
Tony's awesome. He deserved a shout out.
Yes, Tony. Hope you're watching.
Elizabeth would like to know, if you had the chance to interview Chad or Lori, which would you really rather interview?
Ooh.
I think that's a good one.
Well, we've heard from Lori. Obviously, she's done a few interviews. And I don't know how much more we've heard. If Chad would be willing to open up a little bit, I might go for Chad. If you could say you can have an hour with either one, I might I might go for Chad just because it's something a little
Yep.
different. But if Chad's going to be kind of his normal self, where he just kind of shrugs and hems and haws, I don't know. I might want to go with Lori. Lori would come to spar at least. I don't know. What do you all think? I'd be interested for you all to say.
Yeah.
I think you might be able to get more out of Chad. So I don't know. Good question.
I wonder. So people have asked if Lori and Chad communicate. Almost every time we do a show, they ask. But this
Yeah.
person kind of put a different slant and said, they are married. You'd think it would be allowed. Yeah. Right. Might be fascinating.
Yeah.
Elizabeth says, what is your theory as to why they wanted Brandon dead? What direct benefit was there to Lori? Was
Well,
there
Melanie
an
was.
insurance?
They may have thought there was,
Ah,
and there may have. I spoke with Brandon about this early on. I believe there was a life insurance policy, but I don't think it was massive, like millions. Now, Melanie was still married to him. Oh, there's a little boy peeing right off the side of the road, and I don't blame that parent because I've done that before too. So anyway, sorry, distraction. He didn't even care. They didn't even make him walk over the hill. He's just there. He probably had to really go. Come on, you've all done it. I once had to do a live shot. Maybe I shouldn't tell this story. I'm not going to tell that story. Anyway, I had to go on live TV and really had to go to the bathroom. And luckily there was a bottle in the live truck, and that's all I'll say. Okay, so Brandon was married to Melanie. Melanie was in the inner circle with Chad and Lori. If Brandon is dead, then Melanie gets his money, and she's a single mom of children and gets money from that, Social Security. If Lori and Chad, if she believes what they're saying, then and they say you need to hand over your money, and she does, then it is a benefit to them. So again, as I said earlier, it's kind of all about the money. And by
yeah.
the way, if you're just joining us, everybody, Nate Eaton here. Just want to let you know that I'm here with Peggy Jeppesen. You see her all the time in the comments. And Peggy, you're going to be in the comments during the trial, right? Tell everybody
Yes.
how they can watch, where they can watch, all that.
Yes. So you can watch us on our YouTube channel. And are we running it on our Facebook as well, Nate?
Let's just
With
East Idaho News YouTube. It'll be on my Facebook, but if you want to interact with Peggy and all of our other wonderful commenters,
Right.
go to East Idaho News YouTube every day around 10 a.m. Arizona time. So that's 11 Mountain, 12 Central, 1 Eastern.
Yeah.
And the trial starts around 10:30, but I know the chat gets going, doesn't it, Peggy? Aren't people there chatting beforehand?
Oh my, yes. As soon as we go live, everybody comes on and chit chats. It's fun. They've become family. They've become family with each other and family to me and to you, Nate.
Right, I
Gringa
love it.
just gave us. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Gringa gave us $5 and has
Oh, thank you,
asked.
Gringa.
I know, and then she has said, "Has Lori ever explained why they dropped the tire and the seat off at the storage unit?"
No.
She
No, think
hasn't.
Lori has not once ever spoken to the cops. Not once. She has refused all along. Lori has
Okay.
never given a defense in her trials. Lori has done interviews, and honestly, I don't know how much has come of those interviews. You all have seen them. And on the list of things, that would be one thing I would want to ask her is, let's talk about the security footage. Why did the tire get moved into the storage unit and then the next day get moved right back out with the seat? What was happening there?
Right.
That would be a question that I'd be fascinated to hear the answer to. We all know. And why did you go with Chad one day and Alex the next? The day you went with Chad, Alex happened to be on his way to Arizona. Or wait, I think the shooting had already happened, so he may have been on his way home. So yeah, no, we haven't heard any explanation from Lori about what was happening there.
Okay. I'm going to ask you one. So, do you like white chocolate, dark chocolate, or milk chocolate?
Oh, well, I like all the chocolates. I would say though, overall it'd have to be milk, and it would milk, and I like probably my favorite candy bar at the moment. I love 100 grand, especially if they're like in the freezer. Do you like 100 grand, Peggy? The caramel
I
and the Rice
do.
Krispies. Yes.
Not sure there's a candy bar that I don't like, Nate. We have a little.
Oh, you know what candy bar I don't like? Three Musketeers. Who likes those?
Oh, I don't either. Who eats those? And they're always left in the Halloween bag.
I know, Three Musketeers, and I don't like Mounds, but I love Almond Joys.
I do too.
Okay,
because I like.
If I'm gonna choose an M&M, probably peanut butter. Yeah. So there you go.
Do you like the peanut butter one? I'm not sure I do.
Oh, the peanut butter M&Ms? Yes, I love them.
Oh, I like the
peanut
almond
butter
ones and the peanut.
Almond are good too. Yes. Skittles or M&Ms, Peggy? What do you say?
Oh, Skittles.
Over M&Ms.
How about you? Yeah, over M&Ms for me. Yeah.
It depends on the mood. I have sour Skittles in this bag, and I have M&Ms in this bag. I haven't had either today, and I don't know if I will. So we'll see. Lately, I saw Red Vine. Oh, the other question.
All licorice. Ta-da. I am too. Oh, that's so nice. Some of the people are asking. Okay.
I'll make it all the way to Vegas. But after I was stuck in traffic, I'm not sure. I might still do St. George. I think it will all depend on how I feel right now. I'm passing Mills, Utah. Do you know where Mills is, Peggy?
I don't.
I don't either. Well, I do. It's to the right of me.
Well,
so there you go.
Okay, Nate, I have a fluffy pen to make me happy. Can you tell everyone again? When is the trial again? Tell everybody again. We've got some people that have come on late.
All right, the trial starts. Here's why I'm going to Arizona today. On Thursday afternoon, the judge and the plaintiff, well, the judge and the state and Lori and the defense are going to go through all of the jury questionnaires that came in electronically. And they are going to decide, they're going to cross jurors off the list. They're going to advance some. We will do our first courtroom insider Thursday night, 8 o'clock Mountain Time. That's 7 o'clock Arizona. So set an alarm on your phone. We want you to tune in Thursday night, 7 o'clock Arizona. Friday, the judge will pick the jury. We'll do another courtroom insider Friday night. And then Sunday night, we'll do another courtroom insider about what to expect at the trial. And then the actual trial starts Monday at 10:30. There will be opening statements from the state and from Lori Daybell herself. and then there'll be witnesses. And the witness list, I forget the number, but the state is going to really go through their witnesses. I think there's like 20-ish or something. And they say that they'll go through Thursday. We'll do Courtroom Insider every night. And then next week, we'll see how long the trial goes based on how many Courtroom Insiders we do. So I hope that answers the questions.
Yes, and I wrote it down so that I can be present at the right time.
Yes, Peggy will be here taking your questions and comments. Okay,
Yes.
so can people not hear me? Can you all hear me?
I think they can hear you. Are we having problems?
Okay.
I
I had
don't
a
think
few
so. I
people
think we're okay.
message saying I can't hear you.
Oh,
Oh, someone's asking where Jordan's at. Jordan will be joining me in Arizona once we get closer to the verdict. So
that's
he's
kind of fun.
Yeah, he'll fly down, and then I promise we will do a journey to find donuts in Arizona. And maybe tomorrow when I'm driving through Vegas, I'll stop at another donut shop. If you have any recommendations, let me know. Peggy, have you ever tried Voodoo Donuts? People say they're amazing.
No, it sounds amazing. The whole thing sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Someone complimented my turquoise ring. Thank you, Liz. That was very nice.
Thank you. And do we have another
Kenny
donation?
the Dragon. Kenny the Dragon gave another $5 and says,
"Oh, you're
because
feeding
I'm
me
blind.
dinner. Thank you, Kenny.
Just curious, but does East Idaho News happen to partake in events with the local amateur radio clubs to practice for emergency preparedness?
That is an interesting question because we were just talking about that a few months ago.
Wow.
And at the moment, no, we don't, but we have discussed it, and there's a big group. And Kenny, if you have information, send our newsroom an email, news@eastidahonews.com, and we can pass that along. Now, Peggy, do you have your screen open next to you to see the big print?
The big what?
The big print, the comments?
Oh.
Or are you trying to read them all on your phone? That's
Oh,
okay.
no, I'm doing it on my phone because I panicked at the last minute.
Well, you can, okay, I'll give you a hint. This is the first time we've done this, everybody, by the way. If you open up your computer next to your phone and mute your computer, you can see them come up, but you can enlarge it.
Oh, that's good to know. I did think I was going to do that, and then I couldn't really find our live. Oh, here it is. Oh, there I am.
Yeah.
Oh, good night. You're right. I could do it. Oh, that is much easier.
Okay. Everybody give Peggy a round of applause. She is doing great.
No. Do you know what it's like? It's like Nate has to teach his great grandma how to run the computer.
Oh, this took us hours on Friday to figure out.
It really did.
We kept logging in, and then somebody would get kicked off. Turns out we were both logging into the same account. So now it makes perfect sense, but at the time it didn't make it.
Yeah. Barley Hops has a question. As a reporter, aren't you planning on writing an article and following up that trip fiasco and writing to president of the company, et cetera, et cetera? I think she must be talking about your trip to Mexico.
Yes. Good question. I did think about it, writing an official article, and I still might, more as a warning for all of you. I do have to tell you, I got the refund. The refund hit our account yesterday. And I think that I may have worried some of you. I know I worried some of you because you were kind enough to call and email that I clicked on a scam link. The only links I ever clicked on were sent directly from booking.com. Not to say that people can't pretend to be them, because I know they can. But ultimately, we did get the refund, and I have thought about writing an actual story. The YouTube videos, when a lot of people watched, and so many of you have said you've been through similar things. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I've posted those on our family channel. But I should, and I did think about reaching out to their media relations team too. I probably still should. Honestly, I just haven't. I've been so busy getting ready for this trip, but I probably should. But thank you for asking. Good question.
That was nice. Okay, so over here,
If it looks weird that I'm scratching my throat, I've had horrible allergies in the past week. I don't know if you all have, but things seem to be blooming right now in Idaho. I'm curious if that'll be the same in Arizona.
So this person just asked if they should be worried about the Koberger trial being postponed.
Oh, interesting. So I don't know. There's a chance the judge could postpone it. For those of you, are you following Kohberger? Because we're going to go straight from Daybell after this one's done. Like in 6 weeks, Kohberger is supposed to start jury selection at least.
Right.
Dateline did a story several weeks ago about Kohberger, and they had a lot of scoops. They had a lot of new reporting, and Kohberger's attorneys were upset and said someone violated the gag order.
Yeah.
And the judge has ordered a special prosecutor to investigate who leaked the info to Dateline. And I have no idea, by the way. I know I do work with Dateline. I did not work with them on this story. I have no inside intel at all. I knew this. It was going to be a big show, but I didn't know the ins and outs. So anyway, the defense has now filed a motion saying, because of this show, the jury trial needs to be postponed even more. And the victims, of course, their families are like, no. Now, I don't think the judge would postpone it just based off of a 1-2 hour Dateline. Not everybody watches Dateline. I mean, and there are people in my neighborhood who don't have a clue about the Kohberger case. And
Yeah.
you look at the Diddy case. Talk about publicity. They still had a trial and found a jury. So I don't know. I mean, it is Idaho. It is different, and they went through so many efforts to lock in these weeks for the trial that if they pushed it back, they'd have to go through the holidays, which jurors would be like, I can't do it over the holidays. Then you're looking at January, February, March. Maybe it moves till then. We should know more. I think in 2 weeks there's another hearing, and I'll go to that if Daybell's over.
That's awesome. Thank you for answering all those. Hey, Nate, what's your favorite holiday?
Oh, well, I love Christmas because of Secret Santa, but I also love the 4th of July because of the fireworks and our chopper rides and the parades and the flags. I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving might be my favorite. I don't like Valentine's Day. When I was in 8th grade, I was in type class. Remember that? Did you all learn on the typewriter? Type A. I got a horrible nosebleed on Valentine's Day in 8th grade, and I had to walk home in a blizzard with my nose bleeding, and I've never liked it since.
That's
and Erica
terrible.
knows that.
That's
I don't like
triggering,
New Year's Day either. Maybe a New Year's Day, it's like all these expectations for the new year, and the gym's full, and I'm not a big New Year's Day fan. I turned that question negative. Sorry.
That's okay. That's just fine. I am now glistening, and I'm fine on my little phone screen, but when I look at me on the big screen, I see all the flaws. I don't know how you people do this all the time.
Peggy,
probably because you don't have flaws.
Don't worry about that. I was worried you all stirring up my nose. This
light is hot.
Oh, turn off your light. You don't have to have your light on. I don't have a light.
Well, I maybe should turn it off because I'm hotter than Blaze. Now, is that too dark?
No, you're fine. I don't know. Let the audience say that. Peggy, you're beautiful. There you go. You look great.
So nice. I'm just having a problem is all. Okay, everybody
Peggy,
is being so sweet.
Somebody asked where they could send us Snickers. Do you know our address at East Idaho News? Don't give out my home address, please.
What is it? Do you know it off the top of your head?
I do. 390 West Sunnyside, Idaho Falls 83402.
Oh, good job, Nate. Okay, everyone is being so sweet to us. They're just so sweet. I hope this tells them that we're both very human. Some of us more human than others. Would you want to witness Chad's execution?
Yes, I would. And I hope to be there. I know that might sound morbid, and it might not happen for 20 years. In fact, just today, I think we reported that executions in Idaho are on hold until they can build the firing chamber, because Idaho passed a law that the firing squad will be used in executions, and we don't have a facility to do that. So the prison is converting a facility to make that happen. And there are other executions that will happen before Chad Daybell. But I don't know. I always hate the word closure. I even hate to ask people that. Like, do you feel closure now? I think it's like a step forward. They do allow media representatives in there. You can put your name in for a lottery. I have never witnessed an execution. I did cover the execution of the DC sniper in Virginia. I was outside the prison after he was killed. My good friend witnessed it and came out and talked to us about what happened, what he witnessed. So yeah, I would, I would, I would go and witness that. And now, to be honest, the firing squad's a different experience than seeing somebody get a needle in their arm. Firing
Yeah.
squad, that's going to be, you'll never forget that. But would you witness an execution, Peggy?
I wouldn't want to unless they had harmed me personally somehow, you know. I don't think I could do it.
But if they did harm you or your family, you'd want to be there.
I think so. I think I'd want to see it to the end, yeah.
The victims will have a right if Kay and Larry want to go
Yeah.
and witness it. Hopefully they're still alive at that time, but you never know. Idaho moves quite slow with those things.
Right. Nate, where can they get t-shirts? Do you have any more?
Oh. If you go to East OP, we shot shirts, a couple we have left in each size.
Yeah. A little bit, and we're doing good because we're already at 9 o'clock, almost 8:55 our time. Somebody wants to know. Oh no, go ahead. What? Oh, great. That's
Services for a gas station or but I think cell phones.
oh, good. Okay.
But Peggy's going to carry it. All of you can ask. Peggy, let me turn the tables and ask you
Oh
a
no.
question. How did you become the East Idaho News moderator?
I was panicking. What did you ask me?
How did you become the East Idaho News comment
Oh, I
moderator?
love this story. So I had followed you and loved you and thought you were a great reporter. And then you went to Virginia and I missed you while you were gone and your cute little family. And we just kind of stayed in touch here and there. And then one day you called me and said, Peggy, you should come and be our comment moderator. And I said, what is that? And you told me, and I said, Nate, nobody would ever do that. That in their right mind, they wouldn't do that. And then 24 hours later, I thought, I'm reading the comments anyway. That's kind of fun to have a part in keeping things clean and decent. So I said yes, and it'll be 5 years on October 1st.
5 years, wow.
5
you
years.
left out the other Nate too. A lot of people don't know that there's two Nates in East
Yeah,
Idaho
Nate
News. You
is.
knew him too, didn't you?
I did, and Nate Sunderland is my direct boss, my direct supervisor, and then Nate Eaton. I work with the best two men.
Oh, you're very nice.
Great men.
Peggy, we noticed that she would always say uplifting things in the comments and would give us story tips. And we knew we needed somebody who was like uplifting, like somebody that's positive, because you'd never want a negative comment moderator because there's a lot of horrible stuff that Peggy has to weed out. Not from this group, right? This group's been pretty good. But anyway, so 5 years. That's good, Peggy. Thank you.
It's been a ride. It's been wonderful. I've had a few little health glitches, but we're getting through them, and these guys are the best, and it's been a great job for me to do behind the scenes for many reasons. So thank you.
Now you're in front of the scenes on a live video.
Now a little bit, just tonight, and then I'm going to crawl back behind the scenes where I belong, and everything will be good again. Let's do a couple more questions. What have you learned from these Daybell cases, and does anything surprise you anymore, Nate?
yes, stuff does surprise me and shock me. I once asked a newsman who'd been doing this 40 years, Gene Cox, he's a legend in Richmond. I said, "Does anything shock you anymore?" And he said, "Yeah, I think so." He couldn't know. Um, yeah, things surprise me. They do. And they still break my heart. We covered a horrible story over the weekend of a little girl who was hit and killed in the Costco parking lot.
Terrible.
And that just is just crushing. So anything with kids is really hard. As far as what was the first part of the question? Do things shock me? And what was it? Do you remember?
I wrote it down. Let's see. What have you learned from these cases?
Oh, what have I learned? That's right. Gosh. So many things that I could do a 5-hour podcast on it. But I'll tell you that one of the main things I've learned is how the actions of one person or two, in this case maybe three, affect so many people. And I just don't mean the people that are killed. They were affected the most. But their family members and their friends and generations. If you take a family tree and just like throw mud on it and let it splatter everywhere, that's who it affects for generations. And look at how many people are watching now or are watching this trial. They've all been affected.
Mm-hmm.
You all have been affected.
Yeah.
That has like never hit home. And also in conjunction with that, how many people care? How many people cared when JJ and Tylee were missing, where they were? I mean,
Yeah.
people were praying and
Yes.
offering to do searches. I mean, so those are kind of the two of the main things that I've learned from all of it.
I think that's a great point. Let's see.
Nobody's asked what I've listened to on the way down.
Oh, well, you
And
should answer that. I've got
I'm going
one
to
more
tell you,
when you're ready.
I'm listening to a docuseries about the Tylenol murders. Do you remember that, Peggy?
Oh, yes.
It happened in 1982. I was one. Many of our audience might not remember. It just came out. It's all about how people were dying of cyanide poisoning by taking a Tylenol. You remember that?
Yes. Yes.
And they destroyed all the Tylenol. You've got to go watch it. I'm listening to it. It's on Netflix, but I'm not watching. I'm listening to it. And oh my gosh, and I'll give you. Maybe I shouldn't give a spoiler here, but the guy who was the key suspect, they interview in the series. So.
Oh, wow. That
Anyway.
I remember when the case was going on. So,
Yes.
Mary would like an update on Chad's old property. What's being done to it? Has anything much happened? I live out here. There hasn't been much that I know of.
Yeah, what have you seen, Peggy?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay. Yeah,
Not really.
I think nothing's been going on. They tore down the home, they tore down the sheds, they tore down the outbuildings, like I think in October or September. And the new owners have launched a nonprofit. They want to turn it into like a place of healing. They haven't decided what to do with it. Maybe it'll just sit there. Maybe there'll be a bench. I think they're still working on it, but for now, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Does it look pretty different, Peggy, driving out there every day?
It does. It's just empty and vacant. But I'll be honest with you, I still feel like it's quite an ominous feeling there. So, but I haven't been on the property since the day they tore it down.
What about, are you glad it's gone though? Like, would it be more ominous
Yes.
and haunting if it was still there?
Yes, it would be just worse. So I'm glad it's gone.
Right. Yeah.
Ladybug Lady wants to know, she says she lives in Florida. What Disney characters do your children enjoy?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll tell you what, my boys, I know it's not Disney, they're big into Mario and lately Minecraft since the Minecraft movie came out. Emmy cannot wait to see Lilo and Stitch, the new one. And I told them they can't see it without me. So she's big into Lilo and Stitch. That's like her favorite movie. I'm trying to think what the boys like. They like Wreck-It Ralph. I don't know if that's Disney because they love video games. But we haven't been to Disney in a while, but we probably need to go. We've never been to Disney World. Have you been, Peggy?
I've been once when my kids were little, and it was really special. Just Disneyland, never Disney World. And I loved it. I would like to go again. If I can feel like I can, that would be a good thing. People have been really sweet.
Like overwhelming to me, just
Yeah.
because it's so big. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
People are being so sweet. Everybody's being so nice to us, Nate. They're such good people on
thank
here.
you. I love nice people. Thank you.
I do too, and I'm so grateful that they haven't said, why are you doing this or that? Why are you holding your head funny or something? They've been very nice, Nate.
Well, we probably better wrap up in a minute. As you can see, I'm losing daylight, so I'll be in the dark.
I think so too. Oh,
Peggy's
everybody's
like, get me
so
off
nice.
the camera. I don't know if that
Everybody's
helps, but
so
I
nice.
probably should drive with that. So what do you all think? Should I go all the way to Vegas tonight or stop at St. George? What do you think, Peggy?
I think you better stop for the night, Nate.
In St. George?
Yes.
All right.
I don't know. Live on the wild side. Well, we thank you, everybody. I think we're out of questions.
Peggy, we gotta have one or two more questions. You can't just wrap it up. We gotta have final questions.
Oh, I wrapped it right up. Well, somebody asked a while back, how do I decide what comments to get rid of? And I think it's
and also, will you also explain how you choose their questions for Courtroom Insider?
Yes, it would be great if you wanted to like Facebook message those questions, or during the trial, if you want to just put question mark, so that I really hone into that and look at those. And that would be helpful for me to be able to pick the questions out that way. And then people were asking how you get rid of some of the bad comments, and some of the bad comments, mostly they're good. It's just if you turn against each other. I have a little saying that says peace. It sits on my desk, peace. It is not when everybody disagree. Sorry. It is not when everyone agrees. It is when we respect our disagreements and still play in the sandbox together. And that just is how I choose, is just don't go at each other. And I appreciate everybody is so sweet. They're all telling you that to be safe, you should stop in St. George. And everyone's been good to us, Nate.
I'm almost to Fillmore, if you know where that is.
Oh, good.
So, yes.
Okay.
I'll let you know. We'll go live again tomorrow, Peggy. I might just do it when I go to get donuts.
Oh, maybe please do your own thing. Do not feel like you have to invite me. That would be very alarming. I made it through this one.
Yeah, we can't thank you enough for following us
and
being here. We're just a small newsroom with like 15 people in little old Idaho Falls. And it's amazing that we have this audience from around the world who supports us and watches us. And all of the donations you send in, which I'm not asking for money, please don't think that, they go directly to our newsroom, and that helps me and our other reporters go travel to trials and go cover events all over the place if we need to. And when Koberger's done, we've talked about covering different trials next year in different states and taking Courtroom Insider with us to other places. So just can't thank you enough, and for watching. That helps us, and for supporting and being so nice and being here with us. So thank you. And we'll be back live Thursday night, 7 o'clock Arizona time for Courtroom Insider. Thank you, Peggy. You did great.
Thank you, everybody. I'm going to go towel dry my face off.
Yes, take a cold bath. Now we got to figure out how to log off. Do you know how to do that?
No. Oh, with the X.
Okay, hit it. Hit it.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
You're still there. No, she's not. I've got to go. Bye.